With intense action from the sailing world, Inside Sailing is back. Together we'll travel to the most iconic locations across the globe as we feel the excitement and experience some of the best events from the sport of sailing. In our previous episode, we had the opportunity to follow the Volvo Ocean Race as the fleet entered the final few stages after another epic edition of this round-the-world race. We then watched the hottest action from the Tornado Worlds before we flew to Greece for the Eurosav Club Sailing European Championships. Finally, we took in all the action from one of the year's most important kiteboarding events, the Twin Tip Racing World Championships. This time we begin our journey in Palma de Mallorca with some intense foiling action in the GC32 Racing Tour. We'll then head to Poland for the 2018 RSX Senior and Youth Europeans and Open Trophy. Finally, we fly to Cyprus for the 2018 Optimus World Championships. The third event of the 2018 GC32 Racing Tour saw the fleet return to Spain once again to compete in one of the Mediterranean's leading and most prestigious regattas, the 37th Copa del Rey Map-Free. Racing was held on the Bay of Palma, another of the world's leading regatta venues, renowned for its consistent sea breeze. Uniquely on the GC32 Racing Tour, the Copa del Rey Map-Free allows ultra-high-speed foiling catamaran racing to be showcased to the cream of the international yacht racing community, as the event has many classes from fully professional Maxi 72 and TP52 Grand Prix classes to Swans, X35s and J80s.
Hello and welcome to the GC32s at the 37th Copa del Rey Map-Free, one of the most prestigious and biggest sailing events in the Mediterranean. We're here for the third time with the GC32 class, and it's the third event of our season. And as you can see, it's a multi-class event. We have 12 classes competing here. We're one class. We have many important and prestigious monohulls with great sailors. We have the IRC classes, we have the Maxis, we have the Swans, the Melges, and it's wonderful for us to be part of this big prestigious event with the GC32 and to showcase our foiling catamarans.
The GC32 is the only state-of-the-art foiling multi-hull class to race at Copa del Rey. Over the years, these flying machines regularly exceed 30 knots, with a record 34 knots once recorded. Sailing at such high speeds is not an easy task. Each member of the team is responsible for multiple operations on the boat. Everyone has their jobs, but together the crew must come together like clockwork. Just one small mistake can see it all go wrong.
In Lagos, we capsized in a bare way, and unfortunately we broke our mast.
It was a small mistake, and I think it's normal in this kind of boats when you do a maneuver like that with that conditions, which was almost imaginable for us, brand new team. A really small mistake can happen, I think.
Immediately after I capsized, the safety crew were right beside us, and nobody injured. As soon as we got back to the port, all of the teams really helped us and offered their spares, and so we were able to be back in the race the next day.
By the end of the second day of racing, Ineos Team UK had claimed an early lead on the fleet, with Norauto following closely in second. Of the owner-driver teams, Zulu and Argo were fighting neck and neck for third place overall, but it was Eric Maris who pulled out a string of better performances to start day 3 with an advantage over the American boat.
Well, our day was much better than yesterday, because yesterday was a pretty poor overall. Today we had ups and downs, but we had 2 or 3 ups, which was good. We were way better on the start. We found the right sequence. We had some good groove, but everybody's improving. Everybody's better, so it's tough to stay at the front of the fleet. You need to be either the English guys or our friends from Norauto to stay consistently up front.
The battles continued with another 2 intense days on the water. In the final few races of the regatta, Frank Camas's French team Norauto risked everything and pushed hard, but Ineos Team UK proved uncatchable. And after 19 races on the Bay of Palma, the British flying catamaran secured the GC32 class win. They took victory at the Copa del Rey Mapfre with a race to spare, despite this being just the second ever GC32 Racing Tour event for Sir Ben Ainsley's America's Cup team. Argo, skippered by Jason Carroll, had a strong final day to finish the regatta in third place overall, whilst also winning the owner-driver's trophy.
It's been a really fantastic week for Ineos Team UK. Like you said, we got off to a good start on the first day, managed to get out in front, but it's been a really tight battle with Norauto the whole way through. It's been a tight battle, but a really fantastic effort by the whole team, all the sailors and all the shore team, the coach, and everyone who's helped us kind of have a really solid week. We're a big team, and we're constantly, we're new into the GC in some sense, so we're finding our feet in the fleet and learning to understand the boat better and better. And we definitely have felt like Norauto, they've had really good pace right from the beginning of the year, really good boat speed, and kind of we feel like we're kind of learning a little bit from them and watching them and kind of putting that into practice.
For a second consecutive year, Zulu won the Anonimo Speed Challenge and an Anonimo Nautilo GC32 Racing Tour Edition timepiece. They recorded 23.5 knots, the highest average speed at the regatta. The teams will meet up again for the 4th event of the 2018 series in Villasimius, Sardinia, Italy.
Finishing up here in Palma de Mallorca for the 3rd event of the GC32 Racing Tour, the 37th Copa del Rey Mapfre. Now it's off back to Italy. We're going to Sardinia, to Villasimius for the GC32 Villasimius Cup mid-September.
Staying at top speed on the water, we now travel to Sopot in Poland for the 2018 RSX Europeans and Youth European Championships and Open Trophy. This city is a mecca for windsurfing, and with the Sopot Sailing Club celebrating its 35th anniversary this year, hosting the 2018 European Championships is a perfect way to recognise all the efforts and achievements of the local organisers.
Sopot Sailing Club is a club which is engaged mainly in windsurfing. It was founded 35 years ago and in Gdańsk, but then moved to Sopot, where the town found for the club some old buildings which there were old things before magazine stores. And with the power of the members of the club, it was renovated, and it starts the history of windsurfing in Poland, here in Sopot.
These European Championships follow the recent World Championships in Holland, where the first qualification places for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics were claimed.
Welcome to Sopot, Poland, RS6 Youth European Championship 2018. It's always great to come to Poland, Sopot, because this is windsurfing Mecca. That's the place where a lot of windsurfing gurus, champions are grown up. So it's really a place to be. And many sailors have been here for training camps and so on. So it's absolutely great place to have event. And it's not the first time. We have done it already before, and this 2018 is again. It means that the sailors, they like this place. And as I said before, we are really happy to be here.
At Sailing's World Championships, the Netherlands, Poland, France, Italy and Great Britain all qualified for the Tokyo Olympics in both the men's and women's events. In recent years, these countries have dominated the RSX class.
I think we have really good coaches, and the staff and everything in Holland's really good. They prepare us good, and I think that makes us a good country in windsurfing. Of course, we share things and we talk about it, and yeah, they're open to us, so that's really nice. And we share everything, yeah.
It's a good system for start on kids. You know, we have small club in all Poland. Each small city where is the water, lake, sea, or some different kind of water. I think the key of the success of everyone is we training together.
I believe there is a strong culture of windsurfing in France. There's many clubs, a bit everywhere on the coast, like Atlantic coast, but also Mediterranean coast. And also there is 3 national training centers, so once you get good results, you can enter into it, and it's a great structure, and a lot of personnel also studying.
We can train all the years. Every day we can go in the water. Also in January, December, that are the coldest months of the year. We have a good team. The federation is doing a really good job with us. We have a good coach. We train all together. It's a good team because we have 3-4 guys really good in light wind, 3-4 guys good in strong wind, so we help each other. It's good.
For this event, I went race by race. I decided after Aarhus if I wanted to do this event or not. And my family, my brother's competing here, so I was here anyway, and I would prefer to be on the water than on land. So yeah, I decided to race.
I think Team GBR has good synergy and teamwork ethics.
The Polish team never give up.
In France we have a strong culture of windsurfing, and I think we are so passionate.
I can train with good people like Mattia Camboni or Marta Maggetti and Flavia Tartaglini, and I'm so happy about that.
I think the advantage of GBR is teamwork.
We have a culture in sailing, and that gives us a big advantage.
Pasta, for sure.
Sopot is well known for its unpredictable and often varied winds, and that's exactly what the 220 athletes faced during the week of competition. In the women's fleet, 21-year-old Stefania Elfutina showed why she's such an exciting prospect in the RSX class. The Rio Olympic bronze medalist put in some mature performances on the opening day to lead the fleet. Meanwhile, the 2016 European champion Thomas Goyard led from the front, winning all 3 races on day 1 in the men's fleet.
So we had like from 8 to maybe 13 knots, and there was some rights coming, also some left, and at the start you needed to choose the right side, and was quite hard to know. So basically I tried to manage a bit the fleet and go with it, and that's good.
On the first day of the final series, Italian Mattia Camponi was the quickest out of the blocks and took the opening 2 races, gaining enough points to climb to the top of the leaderboard, dropping Israel's Yoav Omer down to second. In the women's fleet, Sofia Nicheti-Klapatska blew her rivals away and looked to be heading towards a second consecutive European title. Stefania Elfutina remained in second position as Emma Wilson climbed to third.
So it was really nice day today, and quite freaky, and a lot of pumping, really hard pumping. So you had to do a good start. If you do a good start, you can do good in the race. If you do a bad start, it's just you lose everything. Zoha is amazing. She's doing so good here. I didn't check the results, but I think she's far in front of me. But I still want to fight.
So to the final day, and in the men's fleet, Mattia Camponi had to finish anywhere above last in order to secure the title. And he did it. He became the 2018 European champion, in improvement on last year's third place, whilst in the women's class, Zofia Nicheti-Klapatska had already secured the championship the previous day.
It was a really good week for me. I was relaxed, like mentally. I was a little bit lucky in the third day. I had 2 wins in the final. And so when I saw that I was at the top, I said, okay, maybe I can do it. And at the end, I do it.
I feel really good and really happy. I have lucky on this competition. Was really hard. Wind was offshore. Was really shifty. I take good decision each day, and I finish first.
In the women's youth fleet, Georgia Speciale, with her outstanding performances all week, added the European title to her world title that she won earlier in the year. In the youth men's fleet, Frenchman Youn Poquelin and Fabien Panazia were first and second. Let's see where it all starts for many of the Olympic sailors. The Optimist is the most popular way for ambitious young sailors to become familiar with the excitement of racing. It teaches the basic rules and how to control a dinghy by providing a unique experience full of close battles with often large fleets. Famagusta Nautical Club in stunning Limassol is the oldest and most historical club in Cyprus and has been hosting major sailing events since 1974. In 2018, the tradition continued with the club welcoming 258 athletes from 58 nations looking to fight it out at the Optimist World Championships.
It's been a great honor to have IOTA in Cyprus. There is a lot of effort the past couple of years that is being put from the Famagusta Nautical Club. We invested a lot in putting together a venue that doesn't have anything to be jealous of other venues around the world. I think Cyprus is a great place for sailing, a sailor's paradise. It was about time to expose what we can offer to the sailing world.
The wind in Limassol was excellent and offered up perfect conditions for some intense battles. After 3 days of competition, Italy's Marco Gridoni was at the top of the standings in the boys division, having put in some great consistent performances, whilst Dutch sailor Yanni Brewers was leading the girls.
I'm so happy for my performance, but I know it's really long, so I'm proud of me, but it's so long.
After the 3 opening days, the individual battles took a break whilst the sailors joined forces for 2 days of team racing. In more than 70 super close matches, the 48 teams made up of 4 competitors put in their best efforts in order to qualify their nations for the finals.
Team racing is a very important element for us with IOTA and the Optimist class. It's a really great way for these kids to actually compete as a team, and teamwork's really important, and to actually represent their nation. And they absolutely love it. It's one of the highlights of the event, and they all have a great time doing it.
The teams were neck and neck trying to finish in the top 16 and progress through to the finals. After the top teams secured their spot, there was just time to make some last-minute adjustments ahead of the final run of matches and the final push for a much-desired place on the podium.
Well, the plan is to communicate as much as we can because we're going against a very strong teams today, and our hope is to beat them and hopefully make our way to the finals. It'll be very tough because there's really good teams out there, but I think we can do it. We won it last year. I was on the team that won it last year, so I have high expectations, and we all want to win it, so I think we all just want to get the gold.
Team Thailand excelled in the medium wind conditions, and following an amazing series of results where they didn't lose a single match, they managed to secure top spot by beating Team Italy in a spectacular final race. Back to the individual racing now, and the stakes were high for the final day of competition. Gridoni did just what he had to do. He sailed safe and maintained his lead to claim his 2nd consecutive world title. There were some good performances from Porello, who managed to maintain her lead, and with a solid performance she was crowned the girls' champion.
I'm so happy because this is my 2nd time. I won last year in Thailand, in Pattaya, and this year I won in Cyprus, and I'm really happy.
I'm very happy to win for 2nd time, and hopefully the next year too. I was very prepared and I worked a lot.
So that's a wrap for this episode of Inside Sailing. We went foiling with the flying GC32 catamarans at the Copa del Rey Mapfre. We found out who were the winners of the 2018 RSX Europeans, and we saw some of the world's young talents starting off their high-performance sailing careers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.